Trump administration investigates Harvard's visa program, what it means for international students. In a startling escalation of government pressure on elite institutions, the U.S. State Department has launched a formal probe into Harvard University's participation in the exchange visitor program. The latest development in an ongoing confrontation between the Trump administration and the prestigious Ivy League school over allegations of insufficient action against campus anti-Semitism and perceived lackluster support for Israel. But here's where it gets controversial. This investigation could permanently strip Harvard's ability to host international scholars, researchers, and students if sponsorship privileges are revoked. And according to official documents. Investigators will scrutinize whether Harvard maintains adequate protocols for hosting visiting academics and students while ensuring alignment with U.S. national security interests. The program mandates that participating institutions demonstrate transparent reporting practices and uphold cultural exchange principles without activities that compromise U.S. foreign policy objectives, a vague standard now thrust into the spotlight. And American taxpayers deserve universities that prioritize both legal compliance and student safety, stated a State Department spokesperson, framing the probe as protective of national interests. This follows months of intense pro-Palestinian protests across Harvard's campus, which federal officials claim fostered environments hostile to Jewish students and undermined U.S. support for Israel. Harvard initially suspended 5 protesters and withheld degrees from 13 students involved in encampment demonstrations, though most degrees were later granted after faculty intervention. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Losing exchange visitor program sponsorship would bar Harvard from directly inviting international academics, researchers, or students. This comes atop existing Trump administration sanctions, including May's revocation of Harvard's authority to enroll new international students on F/J visas. Current international students face transfer mandates or loss of legal status, an unprecedented constraint on a single university. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio reportedly demanded Harvard produce extensive visa program records within a week, with plans to interview staff and visa holders. The investigation accelerates broader federal actions against the university, $2.2 billion in funding cuts, an additional $450 million grant termination, mandatory social media vetting for all Harvard-bound visa applicants worldwide, and IC subpoenas for protest footage and disciplinary records dating to 2020. And Harvard spokesperson Jason Newton condemned the probe as retaliatory, asserting it violates First Amendment rights while vowing to protect international scholars applying for fall enrollment. What do you think? Is this legitimate oversight of campus safety or political retribution against academic freedom? Share your perspective below. Harvard under investigation. U.S. State Department examines exchange visitor program compliance. The U.S. government is launching a high-stakes investigation into Harvard University's role in hosting international exchange programs, a move that signals serious concerns about national security compliance. But here's the critical twist. This isn't just bureaucratic red tape. Federal authorities are scrutinizing whether Harvard has consistently met strict requirements for transparency, cultural exchange integrity, and alignment with America's foreign policy goals. All institutions sponsoring exchange visitors must prove they're not undermining national security, period. Yet this probe raises provocative questions. Should elite universities face heavier oversight than other organizations in these programs? And does prioritizing security stifle academic freedom? The State Department aims to ensure these initiatives never compromise U.S. interests, but critics argue this could set a dangerous precedent for politicizing education. What's your take? Necessary safeguard or governmental overreach? Share your perspective below. Trump versus universities. Inside the administration's campaign against elite colleges 2025 latest. The Trump administration is intensifying its efforts against American colleges and universities, as evidenced by the recent announcement of new investigations by the Departments of State and Education. This marks a continuation of a broader initiative that has been unfolding for several months, aimed at pressuring prestigious institutions to align more closely with the administration's political agenda. On Wednesday, the State Department revealed that it has initiated an investigation to determine whether Harvard University qualifies to participate in its exchange visitor program. This program encompasses a wide range of visa categories, including those for students, professors, interns, and other non-tourist visitors. While the department did not specify the reasons behind this investigation, it emphasized that universities sponsoring exchange visitors must demonstrate a commitment to the principles of cultural exchange and mutual understanding that the program was originally founded upon. In a related development, the Department of Education announced its own investigations into 5 universities that provide special scholarships for undocumented students. These institutions, University of Louisville, University of Nebraska-Omaha, University of Miami, University of Michigan, and Western Michigan University, are being scrutinized for allegedly favoring foreign-born students over those born in the United States. Craig Traynor, the acting assistant secretary for civil rights, stated, "Neither the Trump administration's America First policies nor the Civil Rights Act of 1964's prohibition on national origin discrimination allow universities to deny our fellow citizens the chance to compete for scholarships simply because they were born in the U.S." These investigations stem from complaints lodged with the Office of Civil Rights by the Equal Protection Project, a conservative advocacy group. In an unusual move, the Department of Education included a statement from this group in its official announcement regarding the probes. Additionally, the Office of Civil Rights is looking into other scholarships at these universities that may exclude certain groups. For instance, Western Michigan University offers scholarships specifically for African American, Native American, or Hispanic American students, while the University of Louisville has scholarships for LGBTQ+ students of color. As of now, 4 out of the 5 universities have not responded to requests for comments. A representative from the University of Michigan confirmed that the institution has received a notification letter regarding this matter, but declined to provide further comments. The announcements made on Wednesday represent the latest phase in the Trump administration's vigorous campaign to challenge and penalize elite universities, as well as public and state colleges, for policies that do not align with its priorities. Harvard University has been a frequent target of these investigations, facing both legal challenges and ongoing negotiations with the administration concerning federal funding freezes. A spokesperson for Harvard described the latest investigation as yet another retaliatory action by the administration that infringes upon Harvard's First Amendment rights. Last month, a separate federal investigation concluded that Harvard had violated the civil rights of Jewish and Israeli students. In May, Trump expressed intentions to revoke the university's tax-exempt status. The government has also taken steps to freeze federal funding for several Ivy League institutions, with Trump suggesting that these funds could be redirected to trade schools instead. Earlier this month, the House Judiciary Committee issued subpoenas to Brown University and the University of Pennsylvania, investigating potential antitrust violations related to their tuition and financial aid policies. This action followed requests for documents sent to all 8 Ivy League schools. In June, the president of the University of Virginia, Jim Ryan, resigned after the Justice Department called for his departure amid an investigation into the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. More than a dozen other institutions, including Columbia University, Northwestern University, and the University of California, Berkeley, are also under scrutiny. This ongoing campaign raises significant questions about the future of higher education in America. Are these investigations a necessary step towards accountability, or do they represent an overreach of governmental power? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below.